Hey everyone, it's Grant with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a reaction video to a Netflix documentary called CRIP Camp, A Disability Revolution. It just goes into the civil rights of the disabled and how they had to fight for them. Let's get started with the video. This documentary many times. After watching it this last time, I felt like I needed to make a reaction video about it. The documentary is mostly about Camp Janine and the passing of Bill 504, a very important bill for the disabled. The first 30 minutes of the documentary is about Camp Janine. One camper said it was a camp ran by hippies back in the 60s and 70s. Growing up, I went to a similar camp as shown in the documentary. At the camp I went to, it was a week where you didn't have to worry about being disabled. You didn't have to worry about handicapped bathrooms, or showers, or sidewalks, or people staring. And if you wanted to try something, they would try their best to make it happen. The second half of the documentary is about the efforts of getting Bill 504 passed, and it shows the leader of the group, Judy, leading the revolution for the disabled. The main point of getting Bill 504 passed was being able to attend school, and every building receiving federal funding had to be handicap accessible. Judy and a group of the disabled take over a federal building for about 25 days until Judy is asked to go to Washington to debate the topic with Congress. After Judy went to Washington, a couple days later, they had finally passed Bill 504. Then, a couple years later, Reagan wanted to cut the cost of the bill. After hearing about this news, the disabled started protesting again. This time things got pretty heated, and during the protesting, many protesters were arrested. In the end, the funds weren't cut, but nothing was done to make Bill 504 better. On March 12, 1990, they staged another protest at the Capitol building. This time it was called the Capitol Crawl. In the Capitol Crawl, many disabled abandoned their mobility devices and crawled up the stairs at the Capitol building. This was to show how hard it is to get upstairs when it's not handicap accessible. Finally, on July 26, 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed a bill called the Americans with Disabilities Act. Finally, a bill that would help the disabled community. I would later find out in my life that there are still people out there that still think this way. There are always loopholes in everything. Schools were still sending disabled individuals to special education, even though they had no business being there. Bathrooms are still a nightmare. A lot of places still do not have handicapped bathrooms. Many places still think if they put in a grab bar, it's handicap accessible, even though you can't even fit a wheelchair in the bathroom. Sidewalks are also an issue for the disabled community. Most of the time, I end up just walking in the street. There is still a lot of discrimination in the disabled community. One time I was in a bar, and this guy in the next stall started shouting at me. He was saying to me that my people weren't allowed in the bar. And then I told him to quit being ignorant, and he wanted to fight me. But thank God there was another guy in the bathroom that wouldn't let him touch me. Thank goodness. The last story I'm going to tell you guys about is a concert that I went to recently. When the concert started, everybody stood up and I could not see anything. So I decided that I would move into the aisle so I could see over the people in front of me. Then event staff came up to me and asked me to go back to my seat. So I said to event staff, "Hey, are you going to tell the people in front of me to sit down?" She told me no. So I told her that I wasn't going to move. Then she tells me, "Sir, I know it sucks." Then I lost it. I told her the only people that this sucks for is the disabled. Then, after discussing the issue, she changed her tone and asked me what she could do to make things better. Eventually, they were able to find me seats where I could see the stage and everything. In that situation, I was glad that they owned up to their mistake and tried their best to fix it the best that they could. I hate having to fight for everything. It can make you feel so small sometimes. Never apologize to anybody who makes you feel bad about your disability. The passing of the ADA made things easier, but there are still a lot of issues that need to be confronted in the bill. Marriage equality being one of them. Let's try better in society and make these issues non-existent. I hope everybody enjoyed the reaction video. Peace.